Okay, so today is day 5, and oh, by the way, Sakib here again. If you haven't seen the other videos, um, like we talk about stuff here, ideas, thoughts, things like that. That being said, I'll cut the intro short today. So, what I've been thinking about for a little bit today and a good amount of time yesterday, and this doesn't get mentioned quite often. I think it's pretty important. Is the it's a concept of being able to control the next 5, 10, or 15 minutes of your life. And like, I think it'll make a bit more sense once I explain it. I came across this concept initially from studying Stephen Denier, and it's interesting is because I actually came across one of his TED Talks years back. I highly recommend, if you have a few minutes, you check it out. It's a brilliant TED Talk, and um, gives you quite a bit of insight how he achieved many of the amazing feats that he did. He also has a book, I believe it's called Alpha Brain. I think that sounds about right. And that is a great read as well. It's been a while since I've read it. I recall it being a great read. I don't recall everything off the top of my head. Now let's go back to the concept of controlling the next 5 minutes of our lives. Stephen Denier, in his TED Talk, he talks about how he had difficulties staying focused on a particular task or task at hand that he would have to do, be it homework, be it work, or any other thing. And what he would do is basically force himself to work on the task, or just start the task for 5 minutes. That's it, and then go do whatever else he wants to do. I think it's key, and there's a strong, like, this is one of those very powerful tools, I think, that doesn't get talked about enough, because we hear about all these mental heuristics, tools, motivational quotes, but we never talk about the importance of being able to control the next 5 minutes of your life. Is like, if we have a project that we need to move forward, can I do something in the next 5 minutes to move the entire project forward? I think the same thing, like, we pick up bits and pieces of it by studying or listening to interviews. For example, Elon Musk and Vinod Khosla, both like multi-billionaires. I believe Vinod Khosla is a multi-billionaire, and we all know about Elon Musk. He separates his day into 5-minute chunks. Vinod Khosla, I believe he does it in 15-minute chunks, and it allows them to work on a project very, very quick, efficiently, and effectively, I would like to think. And even if we were to take it away from these individuals and go back to Stephen Denier's TED Talk, he's a brilliant man on his own. I don't know if he's a billionaire. Regardless, I honestly do think he's very successful in what he did. And even he mentions it specifically, the 5-minute rule, being able to keep your brain focused on a task for 5 minutes, then walking away and then coming back. I think another good book that talks about it is Getting Things Done. I don't recall the name of the author. If it's David Allen or something along those lines, please correct me if you do know the actual name. And in that book, I think it was along the lines of, if you can do something within 2 minutes and get things done, do it at that very moment to move it forward. If I'm wrong, again, please, I would appreciate the corrections. And I think these two are very related. With the 2-minute rule, we're never really procrastinating. Anything that's small and can be done instantly is done and moved instantly like that. Whereas with the 5-minute rule, I think the beauty lies in taking a huge project that at first seems immovable, very difficult to control, or very difficult to do, and can often lead to analysis paralysis or overthinking on our end, and we never end up moving the project forward to, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I don't care what it is, I will do something physically to move the project forward. And I think we can add to it and make this 5-minute rule more effective. Like, we could be doing 10 different things to move the project forward, but that doesn't mean all of those things have the same amount of impact. And I think that here's a quote or something Alex Hormozy said, and the man is a brilliant operator. Again, highly recommend him and his thoughts. It's available on YouTube. He has a podcast, I believe. Is do something that not just moves you forward, but moves the team forward. And I found to do that now, that is if you're part of a team. If not, and if you're walking alone and you're just a team of one, that's it. Then what is very effective is being able to take a look at all the things that can be done and see which one is busy and which one's being productive and which one actually moves the project furthest the most. So for example, if you're trying to do sales and you need to convert some immediate sales, whatever the thing is, thinking of the next strategy or how would you like to approach this 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from 5 years from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 months from now, for the next 5 minutes, great. I'm not saying that it doesn't have an impact. Especially if no thought has been given to it whatsoever. However, if we really want to move the project forward, the best thing we can potentially do or possibly do is just pick up the phone and just give someone a call. A potential lead, a potential prospect, whoever the person is, just pick up the phone, start calling. If you don't know what to say, okay, then many people think that if I give them a call or if I give the person a call and I don't know what to say, I'm going to freeze, I need a script. It's brilliant if you have a script. If not, often the best solution is to just give them a call and be straightforward and ask. It's like, hey, just wanted to ask if you're in the market for this product. If you are, would love to earn your business. Like, not even a script, but just straight up and just go ahead and say it. You're there to earn their business. It's not perfect. It's not the most effective thing there is, maybe. However, it gets you over that hump of taking that initial action. And once we start rolling, is because most people don't take action on a project and they would wait years, months, days at times before they take action. And that 5-minute rule immediately bypasses that wall that many people have to start. I don't recall who it was, but it's in TED as well. I'm quite sure you can find this TED Talk. It's still available. It takes roughly 28 hours to get reasonably good at something. And quoting Alex Hormozy, is that most people will take years before they take hour one or before they start hour one. This 5-minute rule is key, is because it takes that hour one and just lowers it down to 5 minutes. If you've got something to do for the next 5 minutes, just pick up the phone, make the call if it sales. If you want to learn programming, go to YouTube and look up a 5-minute intro to Python or whatever you want to do. If you want to understand the scientific method, or if you want to understand fitness, bodybuilding, nutrition, whatever, look something up for the next 5 minutes and see if you can push it forward for the next 5 minutes. And oftentimes what happens is it ends up creating a cascading effect where the 5 minutes becomes 6, it becomes 7, it becomes 8, and before we know it, we're actually pretty capable at doing the thing. At 20-hour mark, the 20-hour mark goes by really quickly. If anytime the 5-minute thought comes and we move it forward, it can pop up 10 times a day, 5 times a day. And that's roughly about an hour. Do that for 20 days, and now you have 20 hours. And we become quite good at the thing, surprisingly good, before we even realize. So yeah, like that's my thought. I don't know why this doesn't get mentioned enough. I still think it's one of the best things ever, like best mental heuristics you can find to move projects and things forward. It's brilliant, borderline magic. I think people just don't talk about it enough. However, if there's one thing I can ask you to take away from all the videos that I've uploaded, it's this one thing. Next 5 minutes. If we can learn to control the next 5 minutes of our lives deliberately and just being able to do the highest value task we could possibly do to move our life in the direction that we want to, we would be, I at least like to think, that we would be a lot closer to our goals than we are right now. But yeah, that's been it. Today's a short one. I think if you consider 11 minutes to be short, and hope this helps. Maybe who knows down the line. I think this is a key tool that we need to do. We need to know and learn about. And if we can implement this, I've personally found it does nothing short of like wonders in my life. I hope it does the same for you. Till then, kind regards, and hope all goes well. That's been it. Peace.